hold on to both AWPs. So far, it's been pretty solid from both sides. Able to trade consistently on the side of SpaceSoldiers, or Syman able to pick them off one by one by one. No crazy individual plays outside of those clutch situations really shining through just yet. As we go further and further in, imagine more initiative and more crazy shenanigans will transpire. Tars, once again, the B side player for the CT side, and don't hit and run me, please. He's trying to dodge the flash, expecting that SpaceSoldiers would try and flash through to retake Banana, and unfortunately, he had no idea that Zentaris was already positioned at logs. That will be an advantage going the way of SpaceSoldiers in this round. Zentaris on the losing side of that exchange in 2 times prior, so now 2 out of 3. Although the Molotovs and grenades do ring through for both SpaceSoldiers, Syman have deployed a Molotov of their own. Will prevent some of the progression onto that site, but Zentaris with the AWP spamming the smoke finds the kill onto Neelan. And they get the man advantage, despite the fact of not seeing that player. Oh, but Zentaris peering a little bit too far into CT spawn, punished by the AWP of Disbalance. As it's now SpaceSoldiers to hold back against the retake of Syman Gaming. Hits across the board, no smoke to work with, however, but Disbalance, once again with this AWP, has been so impactful. He's trained on the angle, but he's almost caught out by the timing. They'll get on the defuse, but it'll be close. Torek should have it. And it comes down to the wire. The light turns green. Syman get a second round on the board, as SpaceSoldiers unable to defend against the progression of these players on the retake. That kill towards Dark, so crucial for Disbalance. And really, it just gives it up for the side of SpaceSoldiers as well. In that post plant, taking that fight so aggressively and taking it such a wide angle stance does at least indicate to your opponents that you will be stacking that Dark position, but regardless of that fact, SpaceSoldiers have just decided to keep things simple. Running up Banana and just finding the kills, trading effectively. Syman will have a lot of utility on this retake. Oh, Disbalance! Straight through the church windows. He prayed, and Engine's the one to fall. Paz takes a little bit of damage on the spray down, but Perf has found him with the Molotov. Instead, they've lost the man advantage. 3-on-2 in this post plant. The smoke dissipates and Perf and Torek both chime in. Syman Gaming able to retake, and it all starts off of a very interesting and just crazy shot from Disbalance, taking that chance and finding the entry. Potentially, a balance patch needs to come in for one of these players on the side of Syman Gaming. Disbalance, please nerf. That is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous way to open up the retake situation as well. But SpaceSoldiers losing those rounds in a row now will be forced into a situation where they have to buy into this one. CZ's invested armor and utility as well, so a decent chance in overwhelming one of these 2 ops setup for the Syman side. They've actually fully stacked towards the A site. This is a hard read coming out from Syman Gaming. They've taken that chance and it's worked out. At least I'd like to think so to start things off. Disbalance opens up on the first and his teammates get all the rest. Zentaris, however, will take him down on that wrap-in through arches. He recovers the AWP as well, and that should allow them to double back towards that B bomb site should they be able to escape, but Major found in the smoke. They spammed aggressively through it. And now Zentaris, with this recovered AWP, has the potential to open up this round, or at least get rid of some of these weapons on the side of Syman. I think some players would actually argue that just throwing away the AWP is extremely impactful here, because the money for Syman Gaming, although they do have a lot of residual cash on Disbalance and Don't Hit and Run Me Please, having to reinvest in a double up setup can be rather taxing on the CT side, so Centaurus just throws this away and potentially tries to find the entry with the CZ instead. Might be more beneficial, but instead he will take the fight. The double up is recovered. And Syman Gaming bring a 4th round to their name. The game will be paused as SpaceSoldiers, they had a significant lead, 6-0 at one point. Fought back in with 4 rounds in a row. Syman on those retakes, able to string some rounds together. Yes, this is a best of 3 series. The previous map was Train. That was Syman's pick, and they won it 16-11. But now this being SpaceSoldiers' pick, they have a chance to at least redeem themselves and bring it to map 3, which will be Mirage. And Syman, they've had a lot of impact coming out from these AWP players. Don't hit and run me, please. Landing some nice shots. Disbalance. Able to consistently get 1 on that big green gun. I love the fast setup here from Syman. You'd seen it in a previous round, but boosting up so that he can get up on to these balconies, and he has a little bit of an off angle to work with towards short and boiler. Syman displaying a fair bit of patience. They've posted up that AWP on Banana, and Nealon is still there to support as well. But I imagine now that they clear it out with the rifle, they'll leave that player over, allow the rotate to happen on that CT side, as there isn't much presence shown by SpaceSoldiers towards Banana in this round. With 50 seconds remaining, might take a little bit too long for SpaceSoldiers to double back and clear out that position, but if they find these entries rather swiftly, it can work out into their favor. Centaurus is going to lead the charge. He won't clear out the close angle, and it's Nealon to strike. It's traded out by Engine, but don't hit and run me, please, is answered back with the AWP. He doesn't have a smoke to work with, however, so he needs to just land the shots as they progress onto the site. He should be isolated as the player rotating. Smoked off once again. The Major is still lurking and lying in wait on this A site. Oh, Perf is in a fantastic position here. Some might even say perfect as the bomb starts to make its way up through middle. The arches do get smoked off, but Perf might be able to catch one player out. Major spots him just as he gets into the smoke. And that's just unfortunate timing. The bomb gets planted for SpaceSoldiers, and this round might just swing back the other way. SpaceSoldiers, they get the first with Engine, but switching out to his P250 just in time. Lands the headshot onto Engine as it's an equal numbers exchange now. Into this 2-on-2. They'll double swing on towards Library, and that leaves this balance to try and bring this back. Spots out the shoulder of the first. Don't hit and run me, please. Finds the second, and it's these AWP players once again pulling up big for the side of Syman Gaming. The double up recovered once again for the CT side. They've got 5 rounds in a row now. Absolutely disgusting. Although, Don't Hit and Run Me Please doesn't have the most amount of frags for his team, he's come up with some very crucial ones on some of these retakes and the site holds. But Disbalance, so far the standout player for Syman Gaming. So the approach will be slow and steady here. Utility deployed on both sides towards middle. SpaceSoldiers looking to establish banana control earlier on into this round such that they don't end up in a similar situation as the previous. That's going to be a fantastic opening for them. Zentara is finding that AWPer on the B-bomb site. They won't rotate an additional player towards the site just yet. Still anticipating that SpaceSoldiers might lurk towards A once again. So at least honoring that situation. And that's the kind of those are the kind of implications having a lurker can have, in that now, as Syman, they have to honor that possibility. The smoke deployed CT will delay Space Soldiers from progressing onto the site. In fact, the smoke wasn't perfect on the side of Space Soldiers to at least diffuse that and extinguish the flames. So Nealon, despite him being close towards the site, is unable to do anything to prevent the inevitable. The plant comes through for ex-Space Soldiers. As now, once again, a retake situation for Syman. Perf is still very, very slow on this rotation. It doesn't seem like Syman want to commit to this. The fact that Perf is playing this out so slow, they have very limited utility to work with. They're just setting up for exits, and unfortunately, it will be an exit that doesn't go their way. Nealon loses his life. Zentaris finds the follow-up onto Disbalance. So only able to hold onto 2 weapons in this round. May only be 1, as Perf will be slowly encouraged upon. In fact, getting a little bit inquisitive. He's trying to find a kill for himself, but ultimately Space Soldiers will remain with 5 players alive. And the money is not great for Syman. They'll be able to drop some weapons over, but now this becomes a situation where if Space Soldiers win this next round, Syman will have a very poor buy going into the last round of the half. Tough situation here. 5-7. Double ops once again still in the hands of Syman. They've seen so much impact before, but look at this push in from Torek. He's gone into a very, very forward position towards the T apartments, and he could flank out the players massively on the side of Space Soldiers. He needs to time this perfectly. He needs to find the right chance to strike as he tries to get around this position without making a single bit of noise. Torek, he's playing it patient, he's playing it slow, he's behind all of these players. He'll line up the first, but turn around. Major is actually looking the wrong direction. He's looking at his teammates, so he spots him out, so Torek has to pull the trigger. Still able to get 2, though. And that prompts the aggression from Space Soldiers. They know the A site has to be where they go, but Disbalance lands the collateral. One thing after another goes wrong for the side of Space Soldiers. As I was talking about how this might be a round where Syman could potentially lose out the rest of this half if they lost this round. Instead, it will be commanding lead taken in terms of the manpower available, and Perf will spring in from the apartments and find the follow-up kill onto Engine. I don't think there's anything really to comment on. You can't ever say with certainty whether X person is using whatever on their PC. That's what the LAN environment is for. Anti-cheats try and deal with that as best they can, but you never really know, and until evidence is presented, you can't say with certainty ever. And every play is judged as legitimate until said otherwise. Does seem like we're experiencing some GoTV lag. But aside from that, Syman have been able to string quite a few rounds together, and oh, they push on through Banana, but it's been heard. The flashbang gives up the situation. And although they found that initial pick,